is a reason you clicked on this video. You didn't stumble here by accident. You didn't scroll past this by mistake. Somewhere deep inside you, something pulled you in. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've been praying for months and heaven feels silent. Maybe you're lying in bed right now, phone in hand, wondering if God even remembers your name. If that's you, I need you to stop scrolling for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you might be the exact word you've been waiting for. You were not chosen because you were the strongest person in the room. You were not chosen because you had it all figured out. You were not chosen because your life looked perfect on the outside. In fact, it's usually the opposite. God has a strange habit of choosing the ones nobody else would pick. The forgotten ones. The overlooked ones. The ones who were told they'd never amount to anything. The ones sitting in the back, feeling invisible, wondering if their story even matters. Think about it. He didn't choose the confident king with the golden armor. He chose a shepherd boy with a slingshot. He didn't choose the eloquent speaker. He chose a stuttering man hiding from his past. He didn't choose the flawless woman with the perfect reputation. He chose the one the whole town was whispering about. Over and over again, throughout history, God has looked past the resume, past the trophies, past the polished exterior, and reached straight for the broken, the doubting, the unqualified. And that should terrify you a little, because it means He's not looking for your strength. He's looking for your surrender. If you've ever felt too damaged, too late, too far gone, too tired to be used for anything meaningful, that feeling is not disqualification. That feeling is often the exact starting point He works from. Your wounds are not the end of your story. They are the raw material for your calling. The very things you're ashamed of might be the very things that qualify you to reach someone else who is drowning in the same darkness you survived. So before you close this video, before you tell yourself, this doesn't apply to me, I want you to really listen, because by the end of this, you're going to understand something that changes the way you see your entire life. You're going to understand why the hard seasons happened, why the rejection happened, why the waiting happened, and why, out of everyone on this earth, you were chosen too. Let's begin. Most people believe being chosen means being picked because you're the best option. That's how the world works. The strongest gets hired. The prettiest gets noticed. The loudest gets remembered. But heaven doesn't operate by those rules. Heaven has never operated by those rules. Go back and look closely at the people God used throughout history, and you'll notice a pattern that should shake you awake. Moses stuttered and doubted himself so badly he begged God to send someone else. Yet he became the man who led an entire nation to freedom. Gideon called himself the weakest in his family, from the smallest tribe, hiding in fear when God found him. Yet he became a mighty warrior who defeated an army with only 300 men. David was the youngest, the one nobody even called in from the field when the prophet came looking for a king. Yet he became the greatest king his nation ever knew. Do you see what's happening here? Every single time, the choice made no logical sense. Every single time, the person felt unworthy, unprepared, or unqualified. And every single time, that was exactly the point. Because here's the truth, nobody tells you enough. God is not impressed by your resume. He is moved by your surrender. He is not searching for talent. He is searching for a willing heart. A heart that says, here I am, even while shaking, even while unsure, even while carrying scars nobody else can see. If you've been comparing yourself to people who seem more qualified, more talented, more put together, stop. That comparison is a trap designed to keep you silent, small, and hidden. The truth is, your mess doesn't disqualify you. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Your mistakes don't disqualify you. If anything, they are proof that you understand pain, that you understand struggle, and that understanding is what makes you able to reach people that a perfect person never could. Now here's something that might be hard to hear. The very seasons you hated, the waiting, the rejection, the loneliness, the disappointment, those weren't punishments. They were preparation. Nothing that shapes a person happens instantly. Every person you admire for their strength, was once broken somewhere in private. Every person who seems unshakable was once shaking uncontrollably behind closed doors. The difference is, they didn't quit in the middle of the process. They let the pain refine them instead of define them. Think about a season in your life that felt unbearable. The breakup that shattered you. The job loss that humiliated you. The diagnosis that terrified you. The friendship that betrayed you. At the time, it probably felt senseless, even cruel. But ask yourself honestly, did that season teach you something about yourself that you couldn't have learned any other way? Did it build a kind of patience, empathy, or strength in you that wasn't there before? That's not coincidence. That's construction. You were being built, piece by piece, scar by scar, into someone who could carry something bigger than your old self could have handled. And this is where it gets even more personal. Being chosen doesn't always feel like winning. Sometimes it feels like losing everything first. Sometimes it feels like being stripped of comfort, stripped of certainty, stripped of the plans you thought were guaranteed. Because before you can carry something new, you have to let go of what you were holding on to. Your hands can't receive a gift while they're still clenched around something else. So if your life has felt like it's been falling apart lately, consider the possibility that it's actually being rearranged, not destroyed. Rearranged, rebuilt from the inside out into something stronger, deeper, and far more purposeful than what you had before. There's another thing worth understanding. The enemy of your peace doesn't waste energy attacking people who are asleep spiritually, comfortable, and going nowhere. He targets the ones who are about to wake up, the ones about to step into something significant. If your struggles have intensified recently, the doubts louder, the temptations stronger, the discouragement heavier, it might not mean you're falling behind. It might mean you're getting closer to something that matters, something worth fighting for. Being chosen isn't a one-time event. It's a daily invitation. Every single day you're given the choice to show up, despite fear, to keep believing despite doubt, to keep loving despite betrayal, to keep trying despite failure. That daily yes, even when it's whispered through tears, is what being chosen actually looks like in real life. It's not a dramatic lightning bolt moment. It's quiet faithfulness in ordinary days that nobody else is watching. You don't need to have your whole life figured out to be used for something meaningful. You don't need to wait until you feel ready, confident, or healed. Some of the most powerful things you'll ever do will happen while you're still in process, still learning, still imperfect. That's not a flaw in the plan. That's the plan. Consider this too. The very thing you were most insecure about might be the exact tool meant to help someone else. Your anxiety might make you the person who notices when someone else is silently struggling. Your past addiction might make you the only voice someone in active addiction will actually trust. Your grief might make you the one person who can sit with someone else's grief without flinching or offering empty words. Pain, when surrendered instead of hidden, becomes purpose. So here's the real question. Not why would God choose me, but what am I doing with the fact that He already has? Are you hiding your story out of shame, or are you letting it become the very thing that helps someone else survive their darkest night? Are you waiting for permission to matter, or are you willing to show up exactly as you are? Unfinished, imperfect, still healing. And let that be enough, because it is enough. You are enough, not because you've earned it, but because you were chosen before you ever had the chance to prove yourself. That's not weakness, that's grace. And grace was never meant to make sense by the world's standards. It was meant to be received, not calculated. If you've made it this far, I don't think that's an accident either. Maybe you needed to hear that your pain has not been wasted. Maybe you needed to hear that the waiting season isn't punishment, it's preparation. Maybe you needed to hear that being chosen was never about being the best. It was about being willing. So take a deep breath right now. Whatever you've been carrying, whatever doubt has been whispering that you're not enough, not qualified, not ready, let it go. You were seen before you were ready. You were called before you were confident, and you are still being shaped, right now, in this very moment, into exactly who you're meant to become. If this touched something in you, don't let it end here. Type, "I am chosen" in the comments right now, so someone else scrolling through, feeling invisible today, can see it, and remember they're not alone. Share this with someone who needs to hear it more than you do. And if you want more reminders like this, reminders that your story isn't over, that your pain has purpose, that you are seen, subscribe and stay with us. Because this is just the beginning of understanding who you really are, and why you were never a mistake. You were chosen. Now go live like it.